Hey guys, welcome to another video. I haven't done a video like this in a long time. It always feels really awkward for me looking at myself and talking about nonsense, I guess. The whole point of this video that I wanted to do was kind of just to, I guess, talk about the new year. I mean, I'm like 3 weeks too late, but, I guess I just have some thoughts on it myself. Um, the biggest one being that 2016 was not a great year for me and for a lot of people actually, but the end of the year was really good for me actually. I had my struggles with the actual like event of the end of the year, but all in all, I'm really satisfied and really glad about how my year ended. It it was definitely a surprise the way that it did. I know I'm being kind of vague, but I um, I just wasn't expecting things to really be good at the end of the year, and they are, and I'm really grateful for that. I feel very fortunate for the way that things have turned out, and the reason 2016 was kind of tough for me was mostly because I'm still dealing with these health problems that I have. And I've been working really hard towards things with my mental health, and that's always a really hard thing to do. It's not easy to really work on those things, especially when you start to think about like the way that you kind of see yourself is a little bit different than the way other people see you, and that is always kind of really weird because for me, people see me. I wouldn't say negatively, but I mean, well, some people do, but most of the time, people kind of see me as a lot different than I do. I think kind of, I wouldn't say very lowly of myself, but I don't think very highly of myself either. I kind of just feel like I'm kind of just there, like I'm not really that great or really that bad, just kind of, I mean, I probably think of myself a little more on the bad side than on the good side, but that's, I mean, we are our biggest critics, and I think that's a big part of it. But overall, the end of the year is always a tough time for me. I kind of shut down emotionally, mentally. It's a very stressful time for me. I wish it wasn't, but it just, a lot of different things going on through my head at that time. Happens to a lot of people. It's just, it can be a difficult time, the holidays and everything, and just dealing with the end of the year is always, kind of a hard thing, I guess, for some people, myself included, obviously, and, but, as 2017 came, I kind of like really, um, I kind of really reached this point in my life that I'm going to be 26. I really need to make some real changes. Like, I really need to work a little bit harder on bettering myself. To be quite honest, I didn't really have much motivation other than I was tired of feeling like shit all the time, which is good enough motivation, but when you don't really have an outside source or an outside reason to kind of help your, pick your spirits back up, it kind of really becomes a little difficult, to really want to keep going. And that's the thing for me, was that I had been working on myself for the last 4 or 5 years, since I moved to California. And I guess I just kind of got a little unmotivated because I was like, well, it's just going to be me, so it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, I'm satisfied with where things are, because I was, for a long time, I was okay with how things were. I was not happy, but I wasn't extremely depressed about it. I just kind of was, um, I just kind of, that's just how it was. I mean, that was the way that it was. That's how things were, and that's how I just accepted it. I kind of essentially gave up a little bit for a long time there, and that's never a good place to be. And so sometimes you just need something or someone to kind of kick you in the ass and, light a fire under you to kind of really make you want to be a better person or work harder on yourself. And that's essentially what has happened for me. I met someone that I really have never wanted to change myself for anybody. I never really cared that much, and for this person, I feel like I want to change a lot of different things. I want to change things in a positive way, though, not just, you know, just change because I want to fit some mold that, you know, would be an ideal for someone else. I want to change because I really realize that I have become very okay with the way that things are, and I don't want to be. You know, I'm kind of at that point in my life, you know, being sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I need to really make some real change. And even though I had been working really hard on doing that, like I said, I kind of became complacent, and I didn't really want to change anymore. I kind of was okay. I had come from here to here, and so here is okay, but you know, I really need to be here. Like, that was the biggest thing for me, and I didn't really have any real motivation to really get from here to here. It was more just, okay, here is good enough, and that's never really a good place to be in. You know, that's kind of a shitty place to be in, to be honest. Like, you really don't want to reach that point, but when you don't have something that's there to help, or someone or something that kind of helps give you that little bit of motivation that you need at the time, you know, because the way that I've noticed the way things work for myself is that I tend to do better when I tend to do better when I start out doing something because of something else, because then that will turn eventually into me doing it for myself. But sometimes I just need that initial, you know, like, that initial kick in the ass to get things going, you know, like, and that's the thing, and that's kind of what this has been for me, is I'm starting to notice more things about myself. I'm starting to see things about myself that, wherein I have been a main cause of certain things that have caused a lot of other things to go negatively in my life. It took me a long time to be able to get to that point. And you know, and that's the thing, like, I'm sure some people will disagree and think that, you know, like, working on yourself because of somebody else, it might not necessarily be the most, I don't want to say healthy, because I don't think it's unhealthy. I think that that's kind of a natural thing that we do. Like, you meet someone and they make you want to kind of change a few things about yourself, you know, or they point out some things about you that you maybe didn't know, or that you knew but you just hadn't really worked on, and you know, all these other things. And I wanted, that's something that I needed, you know, especially this last year. Like, things, I had become so depressed that I couldn't even continue to really make videos. You know, it's a big reason why I haven't been uploading on a regular basis, because I really just, I became really dissatisfied with what I was doing. Like, I'm satisfied with the videos that I make, but I just became dissatisfied with the whole process. Like, I lost that spark that I had initially to want to do this, and I really do enjoy it. And that's the problem, is like, I stopped because of whatever reason. I became depressed or whatever, you know, like, I really don't know, but I really wanted to make some real actual changes. And you know, I really do need to kind of get back to doing this, because it's like, you know, it's really important to me that I do. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I've really started to think about these things in my life that I've kind of given up because of my mental health, you know. And like, that's, sure, it's a valid thing, but I mean, if you never really try to fight that part of your brain when you're mentally ill, that keeps you from moving forward, or keeps you from doing something that you like to do, then you're never going to change. And that's the whole point, is like, I'm at a point now that I genuinely want to change some things. I genuinely want my life to be different. I want to be better. I want to change a lot of the negative things I see in myself, and that's probably the most important thing to me. And now I have someone here who really wants to genuinely help me become a better person, and somebody who's willing to point out the things that I'm doing that aren't necessarily positive, you know, like, or necessarily helping the situation type thing, you know. And that's an important thing to have in life. That's an important thing for anybody to have. I mean, we need sometimes an outside party to really kind of just point out, like, hey, look, you know, this isn't something that is working for you, clearly, you know. And I appreciate having that. It kind of makes me feel bad sometimes, but not because of anything anybody says. It's just because, you know, you start to really realize these things about yourself, and you're like, wow, I can't believe I've let it get this bad. I can't believe that I've allowed myself to really just fall into this trap of negativity in my mind, you know, because that's what it is for me. It's, you know, I mean, being bipolar, I have these like ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, but the problem is for me is that when I get really up and I get really down, once that down starts to set in, I could be like at the top, you know, just getting ready to go down, and I'm starting to go down, and I can feel it, and I allow myself. I feel it coming, but I allow myself to just let it happen. Like, I don't try anything to try and stop it, and that's where the problem is, and those are the things that I want to change, because I think that's a really important thing. And I guess for me, you know, making this video is more or less to tell you guys like what is going on with me and what I've been thinking about, what's kind of, I guess, you know, I have some plans, and I know I keep saying that, but I really have to get on top of it. Like, I just really have to do it, you know, like I really have to just force myself to make something. And that's kind of what I'm doing with this. It's just forcing myself to really stop getting in my own head about it and just do it. And so that's kind of like where I'm at. And, you know, that to me is like 2017, I'm hoping, is going to be the best year that I've had so far, because things have been difficult the last 10 years. But that doesn't mean that the next 10 years have to be difficult. It means that I can move on with my life. I can move on to the next part. I can move on to the next step, whatever. That's where I'm at, and that's what I want to do. This video is really more along the lines of just letting you all know that I am still alive, and I still do have plans for this channel. I know it's been a month since I've uploaded anything, and I'm going to start working a lot harder toward getting things out and making videos. And I really do need some help, though. You know, I really do need help from the people who watch my videos to help me, you know, what do you want me to talk about, or what do you want to see? Because if I don't have any direction, I have a harder time being able to know what people want to see. So, you know, if you subscribe to me, I would really appreciate if you could leave something. Like, tell me one suggestion that you want to see, something that you would want to hear me talk about, or a game that you want to see me play, or anything. Like, that's probably the most helpful thing to me. Because if you don't ever have any I guess, feedback or something, if you don't have any way of knowing what people want, because I can't read your mind, I can't read anybody's mind out there, you know. So that's probably, if I could ask of anything of you guys for this year, is if you could just let me know if what you're seeing is what you like, or if, you know, you want to see something else, you want to hear me talk about something else. That is going to be the most helpful thing to me. But I don't want this video to be too long, so I just wanted to say I appreciate all of you who watch my videos, and all of you who stuck around, all 21 of you. I mean, that means the world to me. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. The webcam's back, by the way, so I'll probably incorporate that more back into my videos. And I do have some plans, like I was going to play through Alice Madness Returns. That's a great game. I love that game. I was obviously going to keep the first-person shooter thing going, but you know, we'll see what happens. I mean, I have some ideas. I've been playing a lot of Trove lately. A lot. Put 130 hours into it in 5 or 6 days. So, you know, I mean, it's been fun, you know. But I guess that's where I'm at. And so I will talk to you guys in another video. I really appreciate all of you, and let's make this a good year for everyone. Thanks for watching.